It's the Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by ANZ Home Loans for financial well-beings.
When it comes to Gold Coast, it's Burleigh Head, Southport and Mermaid Beach. Those suburbs have been performing really, really well. And also when it comes to Sunny Coast, it's Bly and Maroochydore.
And that is Varsha on the Real Estate Breakfast this morning as we continue to talk about your property news and trends. Good morning if you are in Cairns. Also, if you're in Hobart, Darwin, of course, we're in Sydney, Perth and Melbourne, into all of the major areas around Australia, and you can stream us, of course, on your favourite platform right now. Where has the working week gone? Up to another Friday morning, October the 17th. I see that nearly 100 Australian suburbs have achieved sustained property growth, with new PropTrack data revealing 98 areas where house prices have risen by at least 10% annually over the past decade. Regional markets outperformed capital cities, claiming 55 of these top-performing suburbs. Queensland has led the way with 45 suburbs, while South Australia and New South Wales followed close behind. The data highlights long-term resilience and investment appeal, which does show an appetite for lifestyle and regional areas which continue to drive property values higher right across the nation. And in fact, coming up next week, we'll be looking at this and identifying some of these areas and talking to local real estate experts with their finger firmly on the pulse of their market, as we do every weekday. Right, let's catch up with Varsha Daswani from SAI Real Estate. And a very good morning to you, Varsha. Welcome back to the Real Estate Breakfast. Gee, I think it's probably been about a year and a half since we last spoke. So what's been happening for you there in Brisbane?
The property market has been really hot and super duper strong, especially Brisbane and Sunny Coast as well, like Bly and Maroochydore have been performing really well. And in Brisbane, in Gold Coast, Burleigh Heads and Coomera and Upper Coomera have been performing really well as well. So it has been a great time or a great opportunity for me to just keep working and keep getting the listings, and especially in the commercial space as well. So the market has been very strong.
Now, you're talking to a lot of people, so just give us a feeling of how the sentiment is among buyers and sellers that you are interacting all day, every day with. So what's the vibe going on at the moment?
On the buyers, I'm seeing a little bit of mixed feelings with regards to, like, the first home buyers are always anxious and excited at the same time as well. So when they are buying, they are quite happy, but they're also scared in terms of, like, I don't want to buy something wrong and super duper high priced as well. So just making sure, being the agent in between, just making sure, giving them the right information and doing the right thing by them and educating them enough that if this is not the property for you, there might be something else, and just connecting them with other people as well at the same time. So just so that they are educated and looked after. So I'm seeing mixed feelings with regards to the buyers. So the educated buyers, on the other hand, are quite confident. They know what exactly they are getting into. They are very well informed about the market. They are doing their research. So they know where they're at and they know what product they want to get and whether they want to buy this property or not.
So, of course, the big talking point over the last 10 days or so has been the 5% first home buyers scheme and recent rate changes across 2025. What has been happening with those first home buyers, the people that you're talking to? Just how much of a bump up in the market are you seeing there in Brisbane?
So the growth has been about 8 to 9% this year. So it has been quite steady when it comes to the growth, especially in Brisbane. So it used to be last year when we spoke at this point in time, it was the median price in Brisbane was about 780 to 800,000. And now it's about 980. In terms of the growth, it has gone about 8 to 9%.
How much of that nervousness, because this is something we've been talking about, especially in the last week or so, with those larger mortgages, you've got the mortgage brokers that are saying, on one hand, this is fantastic. It means you can get into the market so much more quicker. You're saving years to get in. However, on the other side, you've got this rather large mortgage to contend with. Is there nervousness from these first home buyers with regard to that, or do you think that they're just sort of looking at getting into the market?
If it's a first home buyer, they are nervous and excited, and also they are thinking of how would they pay that mortgage. Yes, it is in the hindsight, it looks really good that it has got like 1 million is what they have got. The 1 million mark is what they can buy up to. But what are they going to do with the mortgage, with the payments, with the monthly payments and stuff like that? So again, we are looking for those particular buyers. We are looking for something under that and whatever their affordability is. When you look at it, other words, it has opened up more opportunities for them in terms of the other suburbs. So now we can look at other suburbs for them. So say, for example, was recently selling a property in Mango Hill. So if Mango Hill is not affordable for you anymore, because just 2 months ago, the similar type of properties was selling for about, say, for example, $680,000 and it's a townhouse, and now it's selling for $780,000. And it's the same, there's nothing different, and it's just in a few months' time that has just gone up to almost about 100K. So what can they are feeling that pressure, and they are feeling that, oh my God, we are going to miss out, and how are we going to afford it, which is fair enough. But again, we can now look for the same buyers in the other suburbs. So whatever the next door suburb is, so they are even happy to go to Redcliffe, they are happy to go to even Caboolture or other suburbs.
And that is Varsha from Brisbane this morning. When we come back, we're going to be looking at some of the areas showing the most growth or stability right now. So we'll talk about that after this.
Every week, unravel the real estate market to help guide your real estate journey. It's the Real Estate Podcast.
Apartments. What has been happening in the Melbourne market, particularly where you are? You've just been talking about Bayside, etc. How have those apartments been performing? Not as well as we know as the houses.
No, definitely not. Look, I think it's going to find its level. There's been probably an oversupply in recent years, and we're seeing they have come back quite a bit. So it's really a two-tiered market. In houses and land are going a lot better than apartments, but they'll find their level. I just think there was so many being built, and a lot of them were sold off the plan and got really good results. A lot of those resales now, they're struggling to get what they paid for them back. But again, I do see growth in that. I think it's just got to find equilibrium, find a level where they're considered good value. There's such a huge range of apartments that are being built. You know, there's some of the smaller 1-bed and 2-bedders that are cheaper, and then there's the absolute luxury that's, beachfront and that sort of thing. So huge range of apartments, but definitely apartments have been a lot harder just purely on supply and demand in the last couple of years.
Have you heard of some of these really bad luck stories? Because they have been reported there in Melbourne where people have lost massive amounts of money purely because they just have not been able to hold and wait for that correction that you're talking about to take place.
Yeah, look, it's unfortunate. The timing's everything in real estate, isn't it? There have been, and I think some of the off-the-plan sales where maybe the buyers didn't do enough research at the time and they've been caught short because for whatever reason they've had to move the properties on and there just hasn't been the demand because people have so much choice. It all comes back to that. And if someone wanted to buy an apartment now, I could show them, at least sort of 30 or 40 different apartments that are around Bayside at the moment that are available that are either off the plan, just finished, or resales.
Eager to expand your property expertise? Enhance your real estate know-how with us.
And right now it is time for another property tip. And recently we were talking to Monique up there in far north Queensland in Atherton. And you've got a property tip when it comes to buying larger blocks of land.
Yes, I do. So when you're buying larger blocks of land, it's important you ask, can it be connected to power, mains power? If not, still doable, but knowing that up front is a really good indication, because sometimes power can obviously cost a bit to set up to. So knowing what cost you're going to be looking at. Water too, making sure it has access to water. Road access too is something that the lenders will look at. So asking the question, can you build on it? And what's it going to cost to actually put a residential property on that piece of land? Because these are things that the lender will look at, and the lender will determine, is it actually a residential block? So ensuring you understand the zoning of what you're purchasing is also come into play when we talk about more rural lending, larger blocks.
Have you missed one of our episodes? Whatever you are looking for, you'll find it right here.
I see that major changes are coming for Victorian renters and landlords. New laws will require landlords to show proof before claiming bonds, ban rent processing fees, and introduce a portable bond scheme to help an estimated 735,000 households. It is a big win for tenant flexibility and transparency. So that is coming. And also Adelaide's real estate market does continue to soar, with nearly every investment property selling for a profit. So you've got in Adelaide strong rental yields, rapid price growth and record low vacancy rates, which are fueling this investor demand right across the metro area, which is solidifying the city as one of Australia's hottest investment spots, which continues in 2025. We are back on a Real Estate Friday with Varsha. And Varsha, why don't we step over which parts of Brisbane do you think right now is showing the strongest growth and stability?
Again, it's the same sort of suburbs that have been performing really well in Brisbane, which is Campbell, New Farm, Weevil Heights. But I am seeing amazing growth in Mango Hill, and the next door suburbs are also sort of coming into place as well. People who can't afford to buy now in Mango Hill can buy in other areas in the next door suburbs as well. So that's again opening up those opportunities for them. When it comes to Gold Coast, it's Burleigh Head, Southport, and Mermaid Beach. Those suburbs have been performing really, really well. And also when it comes to Sunny Coast, it's Bly and Maroochydore. Bly is very attractive for people who are wanting a bit of more space. So especially with interstate, it has been very popular suburb. So people moving from Sydney are looking in Bly. And Maroochydore is very popular for people in their 20s and 30s, because for them, it's not the space, it's about the convenience. So they can just walk to the beach, they can go to the cafes. It's just more like a city sort of Maroochydore. It has got access to everything. So it drives people that are looking for convenience. Whereas Bly drives people that are looking for family and wanting that bit of extra space for their kids and their pets.
All right, we'll leave it there. Good stuff, Varsha. You enjoy the weekend coming up there in sunny Brisbane and enjoy your Friday.
Amazing. Thanks, Craig.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time buyer, know your property with us on the Real Estate Podcast.
As interest rates have come down, as consumer confidence has started to improve, as the economy started to improve a little bit, we're seeing a lot more willingness from people to go out there and buy properties. We've still got fairly constrained supply of stock on the market, but there is strong demand out there. And if people are realistic on price, they're doing very well, and they've got a very high likelihood that they're going to be able to sell their property and sell it for a pretty good price at the moment.
Home guarantee scheme. I mean, this just continues to be on the radar. Real estate agents are licking their lips. Of course, the consumers of real estate are also into it big time.
We've seen this play out before. When you provide a lot of incentives for first home buyers, you do pull forward that demand, and that seems to be what's happening right now. But the side effect of that is it also tends to push prices quite a bit higher as well. And if you've got a property under those price caps for the home guarantee scheme, it's likely that you're going to see quite strong demand for that property, and you're probably going to sell it at a better price than you would have just a couple of months ago.
We connect you to the best real estate information across Australia. The Real Estate Podcast.